log into Oracle Integration Cloud, this is the very first home page that you will see. On your left hand side, you can see all the products that are available. So this, I hope this is an enterprise edition. That's why you see processes and also you see B2B. These two are available in your enterprise version. So you see these two, and then you do have some of your documentations that you can, if you want, you can go ahead and read these documentations if you want. And however, if you want to know how to define integrations and how to define workflow, we also have a product called as Insight that is not available in here. So insights is when you want to create milestones for each of your integration flow. For example, you have an integration flow, and in the very first point you are consuming a API, and then the next point you are doing a transformation, and in third point you are loading the data into cloud. So you can have these 3 points, you can define these 3 points as milestones in your insights, and those insights can keep checking whenever the integration is run. Those insights can keep checking whether these milestones are met, whether it is going through as per design or not. So insights is one more top layer of monitoring your integration flow. It works perfectly fine for your web service based real-time integration flows, but not for your file-based integration flows. So since most of the enterprises go with file-based integration flow, because there will be batch processing, we cannot escape from batch processing because of the current way that enterprises are running these days. So that's why we don't use insights much, but you can just be aware that insights are just one more layer of doing deep level monitoring. Now whenever you guys are free, you can take a look at all these documentations, and then here you have your home is just this, and then here you do have some of the integrations that are already built. Okay. All right. So if you want to use a quick start, or if you want to view the integrations that are already available, and if you want to see how many connections are created and all those type of very high level monitoring, if you want to see, you can go ahead and utilize this home page to take a look at that. So actions, this recents will tell you whatever recent activities that have happened, whatever recent integrations that are created, and all those things. Actions will tell you if you have created processes and you have some task to complete, you have some approval to do. All those things will come up in actions. And of course, processes and integrations, this is to let you guys to create integrations and connection in a very quick level. And then this one talks about, as I told you guys, you can check the process health and integrations health and all those things in here. So this will give you very high level monitoring of the complete integration items, OIC items that you have. From here you can go to very specific pages, detailed pages of tracking and monitoring. Now my task, this is specifically for your process task. If you have any processes defined, and if you need to do some kind of workflow process, that's when you all those workflow processes comes up and it shows in this page, in my task page. Yeah. So since we have not created any process workflows, you don't have any of the processes. It actually takes you to the process cloud service page, where if you have anything assigned to your user, that's what is mentioned in here. This is specifically for process cloud service. And then you have processes. So whatever page that we saw right now, right, that is the process cloud service page, where you can create your custom workflow. You can have your backend services to connect to SaaS cloud, and based on that you can read data and if you have created some forms, you can display those in those forms, and whatever you want to do, approval or rejection, or you want to do auto approval, all those things you can create in your process cloud service. And then integrations is what we are going to discuss now. Before that, let me just show you guys on the B2B documents. So B2B, as I told you, these are the standardized trading partner integrations, right? So B2B documents will let you to define the EDI documents. So there are a lot of EDI standard documents. We have 810, we have 220. So these kind of EDI documents, if you want to utilize, you need to first create those documents, and for those documents you need to also have schemas created. So the schemas will be utilized for your transformation, and documents is just to register that these are the documents that I'm going to use. Using this document, you will utilize the translate option inside an integration flow, and you will do the transformation and get that loaded into SaaS Cloud. So this is also one type of, just have this as one type of integration flow. And this visual builder is our VBCS. This is where you create your applications. So you can just create a new application or import a zip file already created application. So this is utilized for only for your application development, your VBCS. And then you have your monitoring page. So metrics will tell you how many messages are consumed and how many messages are billable. This is only for admins, you guys need not worry about. Under integrations, you have different types of monitoring. One, you can have dashboard that will tell you what is the health of each of your components, integration components. And under integrations, it will tell you for each integration how many of them are processed and how many of them are succeeded. You also have proper filters that can let you know, that can enable you to choose, apply filters on the integrations and check the integrations accordingly. And agents will tell you the health of the agent, and or whether it is available or not, or whatever it is, if the status, maybe there is something went wrong between your agent and your OIC connection. So when that happens, the status goes to unavailable. So whatever agent related connection, agent monitoring are available, you can check it in here. And under tracking, so most probably you will use this mostly you will use this tracking page and this integrations page for you to do the analysis. So last 1 hour nothing has been submitted, so that's why you don't have anything in here. Maybe you can change this to last 3 days. Okay, nothing has been submitted. So what were the instances that is submitted? Integrations are just integrations that are developed. Tracking talks about the submissions, the integration runs that has happened. So this will tell you the instance runs, and how what is the status of it, and what is the instance ID of it, and all those things. Errors will have all, this is just an error hospital. It will tell you all the errors that has occurred in your integration flows, and this will also enable to resubmit the integration flow. Okay, so this is on the monitoring settings. This is completely for your admins. So what you need to know is about maybe on these certificates, if we are connecting to a third-party application, and for OIC to connect to a third-party application, there could be scenarios where, especially for event subscribers, right? If you are going to listen to a third-party application events, you need to have certificates installed in OIC. Only then your OIC can listen to the third-party application. So in those cases, you will have to upload the certificates of the third-party application in here, so that we register that this is the certificate that will be utilized to connect to this, to listen to this third-party application as an event subscriber. All other things are related to your sysadmin. Now, this is what we have. So along with this, you also have one more concept called inbuilt SFTP server. So OIC has given a inbuilt in Gen 2. They have come up with this product. We have an inbuilt file server, so it acts as a SFTP. It has 500 GB of data free space that we have. We cannot extend that size. That is one point. So for intermediate transformation or intermediate staging purposes, you can go ahead and utilize this SFTP server. But there is only one catch: you cannot use this server for very high number of integration flows. If you have very minimal number of integration flows, you can utilize, because it only accepts 20 threads, active threads available at a time. Now your file server should be available all the time, and irrespective of the thread request that it gets, right? So if you have only 20 threads that can connect to this SFTP server, and if you have like hundreds of integration flows which are trying to connect to this SFTP server, of course all your integration flows will fail. So have that in mind. That also comes in the highest edition, I believe. Above enterprise edition, do we have some? I'm not very sure about that. I can check and get back to you guys. So that is also one of the products that is available that we can use for. I think it should be available. Maybe this is not a admin user, that's why we are not able to see, because enterprise edition is the last one. So it comes under settings. You will have this OIC server, OIC file server option here. You just have to choose it. One second. Yeah, you just have to choose it and utilize it for your for inside your integration flows. So there is an inbuilt SFTP server already available of size 500 GB, but it is only utilizable for lesser integration flows, which can have threads lesser than 20 at a time. Now, so far any questions? Okay, well, let's go to integrations. Under integrations, you have these components. Now, this integrations page will enable you to create integrations and import integrations. So as I told you guys, if you have created an integration flow in maybe in your development instance and you want to move it to your testing instance, that's when you one by one, if you want to move, you can utilize this import option to load the archive file to this particular instance. And create will enable you to create the integration flow. And connections is very, very important. Inside the integration flows, any application that you are trying to connect outside of OIC must be defined as a connection. So connection is based on adapters. OIC has its own adapters, list of adapters that we can utilize to create a connection. So connection is created on top of an adapter, and this connection is used inside your integration flow. Now, what is the difference between adapter and connection? Adapter is just a what do we say? It's just a imagine that as a template that can be utilized to define the connection. So connection will actually have your authentication, your the server details definition, all those definitions that you will mention in your connection. But adapter is just a template. For example, if it is a Oracle database adapter, it means it's a database adapter which you can utilize to configure your connection. Now, what do I do in configuring the connection? I specify the host details, and I specify the security that are available. If there needs to be any agent that needs to be configured, I specify all that in my connection. So connection is the top layer, adapter is your bottom layer, and above connection you will have your integration flows. So that's on the connection, and then you have your lookups. Lookups is like any other in any other integration flows, or any other even in your ERP cloud. If you want to define few lookups which can be utilized to derive a target column based on a source column, you can utilize lookups. So this is simple normal table structure lookups where you input a source column. Based on the source column, you get the target column. It is just one-to-one mapping. You cannot have many-to-one mapping. Any one-to-one mapping, if you want to maintain in your integration layer, you can create lookups, and these lookups can be utilized inside your integration flows. Connections also can be utilized in your integration flow. Lookups also can be utilized in your integration flow. Now you have packages. Packages is to group all your integrations. That is this is very important, especially for the data migration consultants. Sorry, sorry. What is that? Code migration consultants. So this one is when you want to group your integrations as a package, and usually what you do is you group your integrations as a package, and then you move this packages from one instance to other instance. So when you do that, all the underlying connections, all the underlying lookups, all the underlying integrations, everything will get moved from your existing your development, the source development instance, to your target instance. So packages is very important. You cannot create a package, but you can initiate a package while creating an integration. So if you're going to create a new package name, just go to your integration flow and specify this package name. It automatically creates a package and add that integration inside the package. So have this in mind. This is very important. Always package your integrations and move the integration so that you can code migration becomes super easy, and also the connection management becomes very easy. So always package the integrations. It's very easy to package an integration. You just have to add the package name in your integration flow, nothing else. And then talking about agents. Agents is when you want to connect to a on-prem server that is outside your Oracle Cloud server. So anything that is outside your Oracle Cloud server, because your OIC is part of your Oracle Cloud infrastructure. Oracle Cloud infrastructure, so the enterprise must first have an account in Oracle Cloud, and using that account, they will instantiate these OIC instances, these OIC environments. So OIC lies inside Oracle Cloud infrastructure. So any connections that has to go out of Oracle Cloud, and also we have some kind of firewall, or we have some kind of network visibility for the other server, we must create an agent. So what happens is this agent lies in that the server which is outside your network, which is a restricted, which lies under a restricted network. So this agent sits in their server, and it will do the things that you want to do from OIC. So it is always the request always comes from agents. OIC will not connect to agent. So it's the other way around. So this is one of the explanation that you can give to the security team, because security team will not be comfortable making an agent sit there in their system. So what do we have to do is we have to always we have to mention that the request that all the request comes from the agent and not from OIC. So when I say request, OIC, the agent will keep listening to OIC, waiting for some request. OIC will not send request to agent. So agent will keep listening to OIC. If there is a what do we say, a file read request that has to go, agent will capture that request from OIC. It will read the file that is there in the server, and it will send the file back to OIC, so that there is no connection going from OIC. There are only connections coming from agents. So that is one of the reasons why we go with agent, and also a safer way of having agents lying in the third-party application, which is behind a firewall, or which is behind some network restrictions. So what do? We download agents from here. This is where in OIC itself you need to download this agent, and you need to install this agent in the server, the third-party server. And after you install the agent there, before you install the agent there, you need to create an agent group. So once you create an agent group, after you install your agent there, so you will specify the agent group name in your agent installation. So after you make it active there, after it is running, your agent status will be configured and it is active. So for example, this is one of the agents that's created, right? So for this, we have only one agent created, and that is active, that is configured, and it is active and it's working fine there. Actually, if you want to check, sometimes the agent health might be low and it might be inactive as well. So this shows it's configured, but if you go back to the monitoring page and check there, it shows unavailable. So you have to go to that agent, the server where the agent is available, and you have to check whether the agent is up and running or not. If it is not up and running, you have to make sure that it's working fine. So that is one of the disadvantages of having an agent. If it goes down, again your integrations will fail, and again manually the system admin has to reboot the agent, and it has to run again. So that is also one of the disadvantages. Try to avoid agent as much as possible. If they have on-prem services, ask them to expose those on-prem services over a public network so that you can access these on-prem services in OIC. If not, if it's totally unavoidable, then you can go ahead and use these agents. So 3 steps: download the agent, create an agent group, install the agent, and then your agent group gets activated here. Now the next point is your agent can have more than one agent group can have more than one agent. So it can have maximum of 2 agents available. So this is for making it highly available. If one agent goes down, the other agent will keep listening to your OIC request. So to make the solution highly available, you can install 2 agents under single agent group, and this, of course, this agent group is added to your connections, and these connections are utilized inside your integration. So for highly available solutioning, go ahead and add 2 agents. It's just that you will install the same agent, but that agent and install in the same server itself, so that it's available there. Now, adapters are the adapters that you can use inside your connection. So if you want to have new adapters in Oracle marketplace, you have new adapters that is that you can buy. Some of them are free, some of them are paid service adapters. So you can buy them and install them in here so that you can utilize those. So if you want to take a look at all the adapters that are already available, you can go ahead and search for these adapters. These are the adapters that are already available. And using these adapters, of course, we will create the connections. So this will only list down all the adapters that are available as part of this OIC instance. Now libraries is where you will create the JavaScript libraries that I told you guys. So there is already one library that is available, right? So you just create a JS function. This function will take input parameters and whatever output parameter it will spit out. So it's just a JS file that you can add. You can create it in your Notepad++ and then just add it in here so that other integrations can utilize these libraries.